All right, time now is 11:11 p.m. on a.m. on June 27th. Ooh. So yeah, I slept from 3:30, more like 3:40 to 10 a.m. I woke up naturally. I had a nightmare where I was getting chased down by a bunch of vampires, but it's just a video game, and for some reason I'm Captain Sparkles, and I was chased down by Markiplier, um, and then yeah, and then I don't know, for some reason some people like Jordana showed up, and I was chased down. Um, but yeah, I woke up naturally at 10, even though I set the alarm at 11. And after I woke up at 10, I realized that the AC is turned off, so I walked outside to turn on the AC. But for the following hour, I just didn't fall asleep at all. I just tumbled around on bed, which feels really comfortable and nice, but eh. Hey, at least I managed to sleep really early. For some reason, I was super tired yesterday. Like, I was watching The Arch, the movie, and I just fell asleep. After like 12, 13 minutes, I just fell asleep. I don't know why, but I fall asleep to movies so fucking much. So here's the plan today. I'm gonna finish watching The Arch. I'm gonna film a couple of reviews after that, and then at around 4 p.m. ish, it's gonna get fun because I am going to go to USC, where Allegro will drive me to North Hollywood in the Valley to attend this crew mixer party. And again, I have no idea what's gonna happen. It's almost like the whole Potter situation where it's gonna be awkward because I literally know no one. But the good thing is, A, it's all movie making. B, it's probably gonna be all Asians, so it's gonna be a little easier for me to socialize. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Um, and that's pretty much it for today. But again, great day for making connections. And looking forward. Um, yeah. Tova has finally found a math class, and it's from 12 to 4. So, there have been some small changes to the interviewing plans, but nothing that detrimental. And yeah, today I'll also try to, just in case IEC doesn't hire me, I'm gonna reach out to Math Lab to see if they can hire me. And then I will start looking into Samsung Galaxy phones and addresses like apartments around USC so that I can move. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I didn't think of Leslie once after I woke up. It's fine. Felt fine. Um, and yeah. Last night I did think about her a little bit, and again, I think about all the good times we had. I I feel like the peak of our relationship isn't the confession day. It is actually us writing Breathless together. There's just something so symbolic about that moment, and a lot of people don't get to experience that kind of intense romance of writing a script together with the girl you love in her language, in your own language. That intimacy is just, I think that's peak, and then it's just downhill from there, really. Um, yeah, it's just like downhill from there, essentially. Um, yeah, it's just a shame, you know. Maybe I confessed too early. But also maybe not. Maybe I confessed at the right time, because maybe if I confessed even later, she would be even less interested in dating. I don't know. It's just crazy how earlier in the semester she was a lot nicer and a lot more human. She just gets less and less human throughout the whole semester. Um, it's just a shame. Cause yesterday during the pizza, Leia mentioned how Rustem was overworked and wasn't even getting paid and had a terrible time working for Cuccio, um and Rustem told Anna that the script was pre-chosen. Anna told um everyone else. Yeah. But the pipeline also goes, Brewston tells Betsy about the overworking and all that stuff. Betsy tells Michelle, Michelle tells me, and I went to warn Leslie in March, and Leslie didn't really listen, and now she's not human anymore, essentially. It's just a shame. Yeah. You know, she's a broken person, and I hope she gets fixed by herself. Yeah. Um, Looking forward to Friday, I guess, where I have to face my demons. Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Looks like what?
This area looks like a simulation.
A simulation tool.
Like,
They're so different. Like not in the same standard. Show you how much tastes have changed.
all right, time now is 11:13 p.m. after just p.m. Yeah, I just came back home like 5 minutes ago from the mixer. Here's how it went. So yeah, starting off, I had to speed run lunch. I cooked lunch in like 5 minutes and chowed it all down in another 5 minutes. Candace, the roommate, was like cooking, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I hate it. I hate cooking when other people are cooking. So I used to wait, but of course she's gonna take 2 hours with her experimental, whatever fucking roast chicken. So I just steamed. I made some rice. I cooked some rice. I got some fatty pork slices ready to be defrozen. I got half a tomato, bunch of onions, a quarter of an onion, and I just made a dish and just threw it all onto rice. It doesn't taste good at all, but I chowed it down, and then I rushed to the bus station and rushed to the metro station. So originally I was supposed to arrive at Expo slash Vermont, which is right outside of USC at 5 p.m. And I have to leave at like exactly 4. But because I had to wait for Candace to cook, so that she could give me a stove, I didn't finish. I didn't wait her to finish. I just waited her so that she would finish using the stove. Um, but yeah. So there's that. Uh, I I got late. Okay, I couldn't go to the bus in time, so I took, instead of a number 6, I took 17, and then I arrived at the metro and I realized I had to use my tap card. So I went to the tap card reloading machine, and I tried to reload. I put my American Express in there. It didn't read. I flipped it. It didn't read. Inverted it. It didn't read. And then I put my Chase card in there. It didn't read. I got so mad. So fuck. I used cash. Then I put a $1 in, and another dollar, and it rejected the money. And then the machine kept Like if I don't interact with the machine for 5 seconds, it's gonna think that I've gone and I've left. So it was like, are you still here? Press any button to say yes. Like, fuck you. I'm trying to figure out my shit. You're not reading my cards for some fucking reason. So I went to a different machine, and then it still didn't fucking work. I got mad, and I was really pissed at the time. So I fucking kicked the machine, and it started like screaming, like alarms went off. So I went to the original machine, and it finally fucking worked. And I was so pissed, and I actually missed the metro train. So originally I was gonna arrive at 4:55. Now I'm gonna arrive at 5:05, and then after the machine fucking thing, I'm arriving at 5:20. So I arrived at 5:20. On the metro, I listened to music mostly. I also responded to Betsy. Oh, this is really interesting because Betsy is one of the biggest players in the entire film program of my college, and the fact that Betsy's trying to dig info from me means a lot. Means she knows that I know a lot. And that's fucking great. This means I truly climbed the ladder. Sure, I'm not at the very tip top. I'm not at Cuchillo's exclusive fucking club. But as it turns out, I know a lot because of all the connections I've made. And also I'm anti-Cuchillo. It's just crazy that it starts off like, the whole semester started with Benny like being the black swan. Benny being the one who is, problematic, and I am the nice and harmless one. But as it turns out, Benny's kissing Cuchillo's ass, and he's one of Cuchillo's favorites. And now he's pro Cuchillo. I'm anti Cuchillo. I'm very much on the front lines of battling Cuchillo. Who the fuck is on a warpath now? I was listening to some epic music or some fun, I don't know, some synth pop, some K-pop or whatever, and I was on the streets of like outside of USC, and I thought of this. Cuchillo was on a warpath against Betsy. Well, who's on the fucking warpath now, baby? Me. They did not see this coming. They do not see this coming. And this is partially because Leslie rejected me a month later. Literally the worst way you can reject someone is to lie to them and say yes first, and then lead them on for a whole month straight. And I'm fucking broken now. I'm emo now. I'm emo as fuck. So I'm like a villain now. I'm dangerous now because you broke me. Leslie broke me. Cuchillo broke me. And because I'm stuck in the same college for one more semester, well, I'm gonna rain hellfire. I'm gonna be a villain. I'm gonna commit to being a villain. So that's great, man. That's great. So anyways, turns out the mixer got pushed to 7 p.m. So it's fine, I'm a little late. So I met up with Allegro outside of his place, and then because we have a lot of time to kill, so he went to USC Trader Joe's to buy some snacks, and then he went to the SCA, to the basement, to the editing bays. So they have editing bays. They have a whole floor dedicated to editing and post-production. And I went into 3 editing rooms, and it's the Chinese girl who was really extroverted, and then a half Chinese, half Korean girl whom I've seen before, and another guy from whatever country, I don't know, some Middle Eastern guy, I guess. And then all 3 of them were working on the same project, but they can't be in the same room because every room only has 1 computer. And then we also saw Dalton, the tall, big Taiwanese guy, and his wife and his daughter or his son. Leave me alone. And he was coloring the short film. So I said hi to them, and then we went off to North Hollywood. And at first it was a little awkward between me and Allegro, but we went on and we chatted really nicely. I realized that we're the same in many ways, like me and Allegro. Both of us were transfer students. Both of us got admitted to USC Film Studies for spring semester for some reason, and then both of us are into production and producing. And yeah, I told him how I got into Hong Kong Baptist University, and he said he also applied, but he got rejected. And he said that apparently Hong Kong Baptist University film program accepts very few students, like only 40 or something. And I'm like, really? I thought it's like really easy to get in. So there's that. But I'm glad I didn't get it, partially because like studying film in Hong Kong means fuck all, but also because like my mom would be teaching there, so like it would be extremely awkward, and I would get bullied for it. Um, if I hadn't come here, I wouldn't have met interesting people like Leslie or Potter, um, and I wouldn't have gone through this amazing drama that is Film 33. So I'm glad I went through this route. Yeah, we arrived, and it's some guy's apartment's rooftop, and it looks really fancy. It's a really fancy neighborhood, really gentrified. And Yeah, you got the food. I was really hungry because my breakfast and lunch don't really mean anything. There's a cheese platter with some salami and grapes. There's a hummus dip, and then Allegra was the only person I know, and also Joy, another Chinese girl. So about half the people there are Chinese, or at least like one third. I thought like it would be like John L. Short, where it's like almost everyone are Chinese or Taiwanese or Hong Kongers, but for this one, it's just like one third Chinese. There are four producers here. There's a British guy or Australian. I think he's Australian. An American white guy, a Turkish guy, and a Chinese woman who's the Turkish guy's girlfriend, and then Allegro, who is the UPM, and then the director is Chinese, obviously. There are two production designers, and both of them are Chinese. One of them looks like Yao Ming and is super freaking tall. Not super, but you can tell he's got that classic Beijing look. He's got that classic Beijing accent. And when I introduced myself to him, I'm like, okay, nice to meet you. I'm from Hong Kong, so I can listen to Mandarin, but I don't really speak it well. So it's kind of awkward. But again, it's not the first time. Again, with John L. set, because there are so many Chinese people, I speak English to most of them. Sometimes I have to switch to Mandarin a little bit, and it's a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. And then, I met this guy who's apparently a complete newbie. He's a grip. There are two more grips, and the grips, they hang out. And then, just a bunch of people. This old white woman, American white woman, apparently she's like a very famous and rich producer in China. And right off the bat, when we saw her, she talked to me and Allegro and Joy about, oh, China's not the same anymore. They turned the entire city, the entire society into a panopticon. And she's like, do you know what panopticon means? And Allegro was like, no. And she's like, everything you do is being surveilled. Like, you're being watched. The facial recognition. Like, you can't do anything. You can't even use, like, cash anymore. You need to use WeChat Pay. It's so anti-foreigner. And that could be true, and that's pretty fucking scary. And then she asked me where I'm from, and I said Hong Kong. And again, I'm really happy. Every time I tell people I'm from Hong Kong, I'm like, yes, Apparently she helped produce Zhang Yimou's Shadow or something. So that was pretty interesting. And then, it was mostly awkward, the mixer, but it was awkward at my own pace, And that's what I like. Like, I can be quiet sometimes and look around sometimes. I talk to people and be nice and kind sometimes. So, half and half. There's some food. There's fried chicken from Ralph's. And then at the end, the Chinese producer woman brought some spicy lamb on toothpicks, which is great. I haven't had lamb in half a year. Some glass noodles, like with potato flour, which I'm not that huge of a fan of. I thought it's just rice noodles. Rice noodles taste way better. I'm sorry. And then, some curry chicken and potato, which is too salty. But overall, it's got some good food. I think I'm well fed. I'm gonna eat some ice cream later, and that's all I need. And then today I've reached my calorie count. And then not much else. And then afterwards, I spoke with the director a little bit. The director is this guy who is very humble Chinese dude, very soft spoken, very tired all the time. And I spoke to him a little bit about like I'm a PA, you know, what should I do? Like should I be PA for art department, PA for like production stuff? Like what should I PA for? And he's like, I don't know, help my mental health, like, and I'm like, I laughed. I don't know how to respond to that, but yeah, seems like a nice set. Can't wait to work there, and we'll definitely see how it goes. But yeah, again, it's like situations like this. It's great to connect, but also I feel so much more like, wow, like I am nobody. Like all these people, they're doing great things, and they know lot more than me. Like the Grips, they talked about Cine Gear, which is like this convention for cinema gear, which I've heard of and I've seen pictures and videos of, but I don't know them. I don't know the convention very well. And again, I'm also only getting into like cinema cameras and lenses like recently, so I'm not a gigantic fan yet. But they're really into it, the Grips. But yeah, at around 10, Allegro left, and I left, and he drove me back home, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Not much else important to talk about. Even though my mind is completely off of Leslie now, I feel like I feel a little sadder than I was yesterday. I think mainly because Ariel made an Instagram story to all her close friends, and it's someone holding 6 cans of Monster Energy drinks on her chest, and it's like a close up of the 6 cans plus someone's 2 arms holding it, plus someone's chest. But the moment I look at that someone's jacket, it's fucking Leslie's jacket, and I don't know, just. And then I remember at some point during the overnight shoots in Frank's house, surely Leslie was awake 99% of the time, but she slept at some point. She took a nap, like a short nap at some point on a couch, and she napped like right beside Cliff. Like I would kill for a girl I love to nap beside me. And I know she would get way more physical with like a lot of other people. Like she would hug people like Tova and even like men. And she's bi, so it's not like a ooh, same sex, so we're friends, we're no homo. It's like she's bi, but she would hug people except me. I mean, she's been physical with me a couple times, but like it was so little. It was like a hug. She hugged me once, and it was like the peak of my life, basically. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Because today I met the sound mixer for John L. Short, and she's super extroverted, and she hugs literally everyone she sees. She saw me, and she hugged me, and she was sitting down, and I was on top, so she was not really hugging me like to my face. She was hugging me to my belly, which is really weird. And yeah, it was just there's that. And then another thing is when Allegro was driving me home at some point, he was playing a music from No Party for Cao Dong, which is a band that Leslie recommended to me. And it's just, oh yeah, it reminds me of that girl. I also talked about like watching 2001: Space Odyssey, and that is now forever going to be tied to Leslie and stuff like that, which is interesting, I guess. I don't know, and given that Leslie hasn't made a lot of Instagram stories lately, it makes me feel that she actually does make a lot of Instagram stories. And it's just that she made them to close friends, and I'm not seeing it because she kicked me out of her close friends list, which might be true. Honestly, I shouldn't even care, but it's just, fuck. What a fucking shame, What a shame. Yeah, what a shame. I just, I don't know. Like, in another universe where she's nicer, where she's less consumed by her film stuff, and maybe in another world where I'm a little slicker and I flirt a little more, maybe it would work out well. But it has to end up this way, of course. at least again look on the bright side. I guess minus the fact that she's an incredibly toxic, abusive bitch. I guess on the bright side of things, it's that she's Chinese, and I mean, I can be friends with Chinese people. A Chinese person just drove me home. But I just hung out with a bunch of Chinese people. But I think most importantly is just yeah, dating a Chinese person is a whole different type deal, and I just wouldn't be able to explain it to my friends, and also it's just way more risks. Like Leslie uses Xiaohongshu, which is a fucking Mein Kampf app. It's literally the Chinese equivalent of Mein Kampf. The name of the app. Yeah, I mean, fucking not cool. Her phone is surveilled as fuck. She uses WeChat. I mean, I have WeChat on my phone, but I can't wait to delete it, honestly. Yeah, and my roommate's washing dishes, like activating the dishwasher. We barely finished 1/3 of all the plates and utensils, and now they're doing the dishwasher again. Are you fucking kidding me? And also, they lost all the fucking knives. There used to be 4 knives, 4 stainless steel knives. Now I can only find 1. Like, there's only 1 knife. Where the fuck did the other 3 knives go? I don't fucking know. But yeah. Well, I'm moving, so that's great. And also, USC responded. Finally, I emailed USC admissions office this morning. They responded a little bit later today in the afternoon, and saying that for orientation, go here. To ask questions about my USC, go here. And about reapplication, I have some terrible news, and that is I can't just reapply to film production like now. I have to do it once I'm a current USC student, which means that I have to be in USC first in spring and then apply. So I will have to apply for fall next year, which is so fucking stupid. Yeah. So now it's just between I can stay in film studies and maybe study for only 1.5 years, take summer classes, and graduate nice, or maybe I'll try to reapply to film production, and yeah, maybe I'll get it. I don't know. Maybe I'll get it. And yeah, there are pros and cons. First of all, film production in USC is all like below the line shit, like gaffers, grips, PDs, fucking scripties. And I don't want to be any of those. I want to be writer director. Of course, I can build from the ground up, start off as scripty, whatever. But yeah, and also it's more time consuming. Maybe it'll take me 3 whole years to finish production. I don't know. And I definitely cannot minor in anything else. I would love to get a minor in, I don't know, like anthropology or something. That's not a real thing. Minor in archaeology. That would be amazing. I think, yeah, if I do get into film production for fall 2024, this means I'll have to graduate in 2026. So that's kind of fucked up. Like, at least. So I don't know, we'll see. I guess good news would be I'm planning to rent a bicycle, and Allegro said his roommate is selling their bicycle, so maybe I can get a bicycle for a pretty cheap price. Yeah, maybe it'll all work out. Don't know. And then my fucking trailer for my short film is copyright blocked again for no good reason. I don't know why. I thought I figured it out. I thought it's because you can't have a black screen. Yeah, it's copyrighted music, but if it has a black screen, it'll block it. And if it doesn't, it'll just... There will be punishment, but less. Like, it won't block it, it'll just claim it. But then I tried to eradicate all the black screen, and it still didn't work. So, no idea what's going on. Alright, time now is 11:43 a.m. on June 28th. Yeah, I slept from 4:30 to 11:15. I woke up like a few minutes before the alarm rang. Yeah, unfortunately I slept at 4:30, but I did manage to watch the entirety of Oshinoko episode 1. And stayed awake the whole time because it's very entertaining. And yeah, so I also did manage to fix the trailer issue. I spent a lot of time doing that, but I managed to fix it. I DM'd Leia. Leia DM'd me. Not Czech Republic Leia. I mean Leia from the past life. Um, originally Leo, now Leia. She's doing vaginoplasty surgery in Thailand right now, illegally, because Hong Kong doesn't allow that shit. And I made an Instagram story about all the copyright blocks I'm getting from YouTube. And she DM'd me for the first time, and we spoke for the first time in like half a year, and it's nice and all. And I say things to her like, hope the surgery goes well, blah, blah, blah. And I realize, wow, all these pleasantries, like, hope everything goes well, how's it doing? Like, I never say that to people from the past life. I'm only saying this because I've been through the California treatment. So it's very fucking interesting, I guess. But for real, hope her surgery goes, right. And, see her this winter, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Michelle's in Venice right now. Venice, Italy, which is fucking awesome. Last night I think I relapsed a little bit, just a tiny bit. I think I missed Leslie again. And today I feel sad again. Like, of course I didn't think of her immediately after I wake up. I also had a weird dream where I was in a supermarket and I ran into a few French people, including Leia Seydoux. I don't know why. Yeah, but and that supermarket is like in Hong Kong. That's weird. I don't know. I think I had a few other dreams too, but I forgot. But yeah, last night I was thinking, I was talking to Michelle, and I was talking about how, like, I'm on a warpath against Kuchio right now. And a better reason for me to justify my war against Kuchio is that she took Leslie from me. If there's one person to blame, it would be him. Because, again, he overworked Rustem. He overworked Rustem and abused him. And that destroyed Rustem. Rustem had to quit. Rustem had to walk. And then Rustem told Betsy. Betsy told Michelle. Michelle told me. And I was going to warn Leslie. But Leslie didn't listen. She let herself be overworked. Even harder now. And I know it's Drew telling her to, oh, film this concert, film that fucking play, film this, film that, go to this set, go to that set. But it's not really Drew too, it's Drew is just chain of command. Of course, it all comes down to Kuchio. Like, why isn't Kuchio allowing 2 storage room assistants? Why is it 1? Why is all the heavy work going to one freaking 18-year-old Chinese girl? Like, are you serious? Her mental health is ruined. She's drinking vodka for breakfast. So, I mean, if there's one person to blame, it's Kuchio. It would be fucking Kuchio. Kuchio started Film 33. It's his fucking idea. He took my girl from me. It's personal now. Next semester is going to be my revenge arc. Next semester is going to be my villain arc. I literally have no fucking business in my college anymore. So there's one objective. There's only one sole objective I have. Destroy Kuchio. To fucking hurt him. And that's what the documentary And also not just a documentary, because I'll be like sneaking in and out with Film 33, getting info, so maybe I can plan things against him. I don't know. Plan it with Betsy. I don't know. I know Betsy's like an egotistical mafia boss who doesn't know jack shit about the art of cinema. But yesterday when I texted Betsy over Discord, I was thinking, ooh, we might form a pretty good, trusty relationship. Because Betsy hates Cuchillo, Betsy's planning shit against him. Betsy planned shit against him and sort of succeeded. And I know I'm not as powerful as she is, but hey, I know people now. I'm resourceful now. Cuchillo should be afraid of me. I'm a player now, baby. I'm a player. So, yeah, I just need to hurt Cuchillo so bad. It turned into a revenge arc. And it's funny, and then I watched Oshino Ko, and then I realized it's also a revenge story, and everything adds up. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I haven't truly moved on from Leslie, it's just that I've shifted my focus on destroying Cuchillo. The sadness is there, but I'm turning that sadness to anger. I don't know. So today my plan is to watch Asteroid City at AMC at 1:15. At 1:50. And I'm gonna do a review beforehand. I'm gonna watch the movie, come back and do another review, and then everything will be jolly. But it's gonna get a little more complicated in that Thomas just called me like right after I brushed my teeth and asked me if I want to join him and Liam to watch a movie together, and I'm like, Asteroid City, and he's like, sure. And then so we're going to probably AMC in Topanga because it's near Liam's place. The dude lives in Encino. I don't care that I'm doxing him, okay? And Tom's calling me again. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, the meeting is on. The game is on. I'm watching Asteroid City with Liam and Thomas. Hopefully it's Asteroid City because I really want to watch that. Yeah. So hey, it's great to have friends. And also again, can't believe that ultimately after the end of Film 33, the people who are closest to me is a black girl and a Liam, who is like sneaky conspiracy guy. Didn't expect that. So again, resurgence movement. Benny's pro Cuchillo, I'm anti Cuchillo now, baby. Who is on the warpath? Next time I see Betsy, I'm gonna tell her that, like in person. Well, who is on the warpath now, baby? Well, who's on a warpath now? Betsy would be interested. If I let Betsy know how fucking angry I am, Betsy would be interested. Betsy would delegate some of the dirty work to me, which would be great. And Cliff just sent me a story from Cuchillo. Yeah, well, the game goes on. The game goes on, baby. But yeah, last night I tried to reach out to Nick through Discord. It appears he's not really using it, so I may have to text him, ask Eric for his number, but if all goes well, we'll be interviewing Eric tomorrow with Tova, and maybe Leia's gonna show up. Leia from Czech Republic. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, and finally, yeah, I don't know, I just, yeah, finally, I don't know. It still concerns me that the fact that I can't love anyone else. I mean, I know I'm just moving on from Leslie fresh, but you know, in secondary school, if Mary doesn't exist, I would have gone for Natalie. Let's be honest here. And there are several other options back in secondary school that are like way better than what I have now. But Leslie's like the only one. Like every other girl is just, I've never even like imagined fall in love with any of the other ones. Leslie is like the only interesting person. So it's definitely rarer in a place like LA, where everyone's like a piece of white paper. I don't know, maybe if I go to Hong Kong Student Associations in my college, maybe I'll find someone interesting. But that would be like barely a weekly thing. Or maybe I should go to USC orientation, meet someone there, maybe the sets. Essentially back to square one, like before I fell in love with Leslie. I keep talking about how, okay, well, hopefully HKSA organizes something. Well, hopefully, I don't know, John L's film set, someone interesting shows up. And it's just me being desperate. That turns out it's Leslie, which I didn't even expect. But I did fall in love with her really, really fucking bad. I could write a romance film where it's just the entire process of me falling in love with Leslie and then the whole thing. The breakup and everything. You don't really have to explain why you fall in love with a girl. Just the idea of me during Film 33 break, walking around the CMD campus, hoping that Leslie would show up so that we could talk, that is already everything, That is already what you should know. And then it's just the breathless, the confession day, the way she grabbed her paper plate and sat beside me. Like, what the fuck happened afterwards? It all went downhill from there. Well, that's that.
Against the law, got no future, got no hope, just love.
I'm not filming that side.
Oh, you should.
Alright, time now is 8:55. I'll talk more later, but I'm kind of excited right now because Jonathan said yes to the interview. Apparently, hope that's not a lie. The resistance. The resistance. Yeah. Yeah. Sheesh. Sheesh. Like, it's happening. It's happening. It's definitely happening. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be exciting. Okay, I'm gonna film a review now, and then I'll talk later. All right, time now is 11:21 p.m. I just finished dinner. Carne asada steak, fried potatoes, green beans. Yeah, pretty much it. So let's talk about today, what happened, and my thoughts and feelings. So, first of all, right off the bat, after I brushed my teeth, Thomas called me. Apparently, Thomas already called me while I was brushing my teeth, but it's very late notice. But Thomas doesn't have to go to work today, and he went onto a writer's strike this morning, but he left because he doesn't know what to do at the strike. And then so he's like, oh, how about we hang out? So I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, why? Let's like maybe watch a movie together at AMC with Liam, because Liam's free today too. And I'm like, yeah, totally, sure. Because, lo and behold, I actually originally planned to watch Asteroid City today. So might as well watch it with Thomas and Liam, more the merrier. So I said yes, and Thomas was going to pick me up at 12:45. So I had some time to eat breakfast and film a review. I didn't film a review. I ended up not doing that because I ran out of time. So I directly got picked up by Thomas and we went off to Topanga, to Westfield, Topanga. I am not familiar with that area at all. I'm not familiar with the valley at all. We're going there, and Liam's heading there directly in his car. So, yeah, we essentially, I and Thomas walked around, and, he's like, how's it going? And I'm like, it's been peaceful, it's been fine. I let Thomas know a little bit about the interviews. I know it's dangerous, but I trust that Thomas won't tell anyone because Thomas literally has no connections with anyone. Um, though telling Liam might be a little tricky, but I want to also gain his trust. So that's that. Um, yeah, I and Thomas walked around a little bit. I was kind of hungry knowing that the movie, so we decided to go for 2:15 p.m. Asteroid City. And the movie would end at around 4:15-ish. Um, so knowing that I would be hungry, so we went to Target and he bought a little snacks and we snuck into the AMC theater. So we met up with Liam and then we went in, we watched the movie. I thought it was decent, it was just okay. Thomas hated it. Liam thought it was meh. So not for everyone, but of course I would low-key enjoy something like this, but only low-key. And then afterwards, I and Liam spent a lot of time talking about Drama 33, Crucio. And of course, there's a lot to be updated. First of all, Liam knows jack shit. Because Liam's been so removed from Film 33, he didn't go to both the rap parties. He doesn't know much about rural Mexico. He doesn't know much about, like, he showed up for the church day, but he didn't show up for Torrance. He didn't show up for the pickup day. And I don't think I've seen Liam ever since it ended. Yeah, this is the first time I saw Liam since everything ended. I think. Yeah, I mean, I've called him, but I've never actually seen him. So he is really out of date. He's really out of touch with what's happening. So I just told him a bunch of stuff. I wish I didn't, because I don't really trust him that well, but then I also need to gain his trust. I told him about Jonathan's rant against Carly. He was fucking surprised. He always thought Jonathan was super pro Crucio and pro system, but Jonathan's not. And then I told him about the interviews and he got really interested. He told me that Jaden and Trini may not be down because they both of them also have that attitude of, oh, I want to leave all this behind. So I got worried. Yeah, and of course I'm worried about Jonathan not wanting to be interviewed. And then I also told him about Benny climbing the ladder, becoming co-producer. They wouldn't know because they don't follow Crucio on Instagram. I do. And Benny became co-producer of the project now. He got promoted from UPM to co-producer. And also Benny's editing ends and means. And I told Liam that and Liam was like, dude, all the memories I had with him in third grade, all smashed. Because Liam and Benny go way back. They were friends since third grade. And, all those memories are smashed. And now he hates Benny and wants to get back at him. So Liam's very much anti-Crucio, obviously. But also the way he goes about it is just, he has a very childish way to go against it. Again, because Liam's like a year and a half younger than me. So I sort of see him as a bit of a child. But he's gone to HR like many, many, many times to report against Crucio, which is great because Crucio has a lot of issues. But he's gone to HR many, many times already. He didn't do the pajama party, but someone did, but he reported many other more serious matters. And he told me that at some point he, Trinity, Jade, and Ava, the Trinity gang, they all went to CMD main campus and spoke directly to Dr. Grass, aka Crucio's boss, and told them about all that stuff with Zach as well. Apparently Crucio Liam boasted himself. Liam arrogantly told me and Thomas that he almost had Cuccio. He almost, because he reported Cuccio so much to the HR, and somehow Cuccio suddenly treated Liam really nice one time and gave him and let him have the social media executive, and he was like, oh, I almost had Cuccio, but Theo screwed it up. And I'm like, what did Theo do? And apparently Theo wrote emails and reported to Cuccio and Dr. Grass, but those emails are super dramatic and exaggerated, so Cuccio easily dismissed the allegations. So Theo screwed it up or something, and Cuccio's back in power again. I don't think Liam had Cuccio. I don't think one little guy can beat this monster, beat this giant. As Betsy has described, if she's chosen as director and she's up against Cuccio, it will be a David versus Goliath. So against the giant, against the knife. I don't know. I like how we all view Cuccio as this big villain now. It's so fucking awesome. And I'm not the only person thinking that. But anyways, Liam's like, oh, I almost had him. I almost had him. And apparently on day 4 of Frank's house, of the shoot, when Zach sort of argued with Trinity Gang, and Zach was really aggressive and he swore and everything. The Trinity Gang talked to Cuccio, and Cuccio was, the way Cuccio spoke with Trinity Gang, it was almost like Cuccio was gonna turn Zach into the cops, but obviously Cuccio isn't gonna do that, so it's weird. But essentially that's the whole thing. But ultimately, I know more than Liam and Trinity Gang now, and I'm literally on the front line now, literally, with the documentary and also me going back to CMD and, messing with the next film 33. I am the true fucking villain now. I am on the front lines of this anti-Cuccio resistance. So that's kind of insane. So that's that. Yeah, and then I and Liam and Thomas went to the food court, and I had Philly cheesesteak. It was $13.99 without fries. And it wasn't bad, but it was all over the place. I wasn't given any eating utensils, and it was just okay. The bread was but we had a good talk. And Thomas was so sick of hearing us talk about Film 33, but it's the juicy stuff. So while I told Liam all that, Liam immediately texted Jaden and texted him like literally everything. Oh, Jonathan made Carly cry, and Benny climbed up the ladder, and I got screwed over by the pickup day and all that stuff, and the 2 rap parties and everything. And Jaden called Liam. Jaden and Trinity are having sex in some island in Mexico right now, but the juicy drama is so juicy that he has to call Liam midway, and Liam gave me his phone, and I directly told Jaden. And again, Liam earlier told me that Jaden and Trinity are not, probably may refuse to do interviews, so I told Jaden all that, and Jaden's like, no, yeah, I'm down, after I get back. Fuck yeah, baby, fuck yeah. So I told Jaden, I tried my best. I don't know why, maybe it's because I trust Liam more, so I'm more loose around Liam. But with Jaden, I started to worry. Am I saying too much? So I tried to be as vague as possible. Like, oh yeah, Jonathan just complained to Carly and Carly cried and, stuff like that. And Jaden's like, wow, keep me updated. So they all know that I know the most. I am the guy I'm the fucking detective. And then in the meantime, I texted Michelle. In the meantime, I also texted Tova. Michelle's having a great time in Venice. She's going to Florence tomorrow, so I hope she has amazing fun. And then Tova, again, we're planning to interview Eric tomorrow. So fucking exciting. These interviews are actually happening. But anyways, Thomas drove me home. We said goodbye. That's the end of the day. We walked around. At the end, we went to, I wanted to go to Hot Topic because it's like an emo anime place and, totally my shit. And then Liam brought us to a small store called Spencer, and it's like Hot Topic but R rated. So it has like middle finger shirts. It has a lot of like metal band shirts and like chains and whatever. And then if you go to the back of the store, you start seeing vibrators and dildos and weird BDSM lingerie and stuff like that. And butt plugs. It's crazy. And they don't even put like a shade on top of it. So people can just walk in. And Thomas got really uncomfortable. It's not the first time I've been to a store where there are sex toys. I mean, I've been to a Donkey in Hong Kong, and there's a 18 plus spot. So I'm not shook or anything. Also, I'm basically like numb to this shit, like as of now, because it's LA, you know. But Thomas got really uncomfortable, and then we went to Hot Topic, and it was not as R rated, but there's some cool anime shit in there that's like 4 times more expensive. An anime figurine there is 20 US dollars. That is 2,900 yen. I got the same figurine, not the exact same, but same brand from the same anime, same height, same size, same quality for 700 yen. That's like 4 times cheaper. I mean, obviously, the shit is made in Tokyo, and then of course, Tokyo, everything's cheaper in Tokyo, so fuck yeah. I wish I could go to Tokyo with someone I love, perhaps. That would be fucking awesome. Imagine going on to date, but in like Tokyo. I mean, come on, that's so sweet. So yeah, I and Thomas went back home, and I looked at the mountains when we drove through the valley, and I don't know, I got dreamy. I got a little dreamy. I looked at the mountains and I thought, and the AC was on in the car and it feels cozy, and I just feel it. Usually when I go hiking, it's all sweaty and tiring and it feels like shit. But imagine if it doesn't feel like shit, if it's breezy and soft and nice, and I'm laying on the grass and I feel comfortable and I'm not in a hurry, and then in the far distance, not too far, it's the girl I love, and her hair swaying in the wind, and she's smiling at me, and there's no one else there, and I want to go walk up to her and give her a hug and kiss her on the cheeks. It's so warm and cozy and dreamy and lovely, and Leslie could have been that girl. I thought of her. It's her. When I think of the girl I love, it automatically defaults to her face, her body, her green-red jacket, her torn pants, her 2 rings, her necklace. It's her. And I was lost in the moment. I zoned out. There's so many things I could do with her. And then after I came home, I could handle it, but I'm going to give myself a treat, and I just looked at some photos of her. Just looking, and then I looked at my own drawing of her. We're literally right there. Literally right there. And I don't know, it hurts. It still hurts. I talked to Michelle a little bit. I told Michelle that I may have relapsed a little bit yesterday. Like, I feel sad. I mean, I don't have hope for Leslie anymore. It's completely 100% gone. But I just feel a little sad yesterday is all. And, Michelle probably gets me. How long did it take for Michelle to get over Harrison? She said 3 to 4 months. But it was a little different because in her case, it's, she and Harrison were never even close. And also, Harrison turned out to not be the guy she thinks he is. But Leslie is very much the girl I think she is. Yeah, she's a toxic, mean bitch, but that's what I love about her. If only she isn't toxic and mean to me. And also, I confessed to her, and she said yes. I mean, in cases like this, I could really say that I'm not 0. I'm not A0 anymore. I'm A0.5. That's half a relationship, I would say. So at least that's something. But yeah, it hurts. And that's all the more reasons for me to fight Kuchio. I know maybe Kuchio isn't directly the person who ruined Leslie. Ultimately, it's Leslie herself who broke herself. And close herself off from like the rest of the world, but at the same time being nice in a very shallow way, but not in a deep way to the people around her. But I fucking blame Kuchio. Kuchio overworked her. Kuchio had Leslie come every day to set, to the drills. I blame him. So now it's all the more reasons I fucking gut him. I fucking kill him with my documentary. That's how I'm gonna prove how much I love her. I love her so much that I'm gonna fucking kill a middle-aged Mexican guy. I'm gonna do it. I have nothing to lose. So I lost my glasses, my circular transparent glasses in Thomas's car, and I immediately knew that, okay, I probably left it in his car. It probably dropped out of my pocket. So at around 8 p.m., Thomas came back to outside of my apartment, and I got back my glasses. So great, and now it's right there. But yeah. And then Tova texted me. I asked Tova if we should invite Leia for tomorrow's interview with Eric. And Tova said, no, maybe not, because we don't trust her that much. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But I don't know. Leia has a mic. B, it would be great if we have more allies. C, it's just, it sucks. Like, we need to invite her at least once more to show that, okay, yeah, we're good. You know, we're chill. And also, if anything, it would be with Eric. Because if we interview Jonathan or interview Red and Leia's there, it might be a little problematic. Maybe, just a little bit. And definitely not with... I guess I don't know who Leia's truly enemies with, because Leia's gone since so early, but yeah. And finally, great news is Jonathan responded to Tova saying, yes, what time? Holy fuck. Jonathan actually said yes. I was kind of desperate because we already lost Anna, which is a huge blow. So I was scared that Jonathan would say no. So I texted Tova, like, how about we persuade him a little bit? Like, we just tell him, like, hey, this is just an afterthought interview. Like after the math interview thing. Like, it's nothing serious. Maybe we, team people up. If we team Jonathan up with someone else, like, I don't know, Dominic, maybe it would work. So I would tell Jonathan, like, hey, Dominic's coming too. And Dominic's, asking if you're coming too. So that's more pressure for him to come. That's more persuasive. But apparently I don't have to pull that trick. Jonathan said yes. Jonathan said what time. And I actually fucking cheered. It's one step closer to killing Kuchio. One gigantic step, actually. Getting Jonathan is vital for the documentary. So, I mean, fuck yeah. We got in the bag. It's crazy how so many people are saying yes now. So I got Trinity Gang in the bag. I got Jonathan in the bag. Red is saying yes. Nick said yes, apparently. Dominic, not sure yet, but now I can reverse it. If I tell Dominic Jonathan's going, maybe Dominic will go. oh shit, I can reverse using that trick as well, right? But truly amazing. So right now, if I look at the list, I think we have like about, I don't know, including me and Tova, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Leia. Okay, so Red, Trinity, Jaden, Ava, Liam, Leia, Tova, and me, NJ, Eric, Nick, Andrew, Jonathan. 13. 13. And we haven't even asked them all yet. We've got Dominic, Gustavo, and Theo. That's 16. That's freaking 16. We have a majority of the class. Actually, not really. There are 35 people in the class. But all these are the key players. I mean, and we could ask more. Like if Skylar, Carly, Dominic comes on, that would be like 19. Okay, now we have majority. If Benny comes on, that's 20. Yeah. We are rocking. I'm actually really excited for tomorrow. I still can't believe we're actually doing this. Yeah. And I also think, yeah, I don't know. I think, right now in the summer, I really have nothing to do other than moving and trying to get a driver's license and all that jazz. And my mind is simple now. One objective: hurt Cuchillo. Hurt Cuchillo. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing to lose. I mean, yeah, the only two things I risk losing is like friends and visa, and that's it. I lost Leslie. The love of my life. Not life, hopefully not love of my life. Love of 2023. I lost her. I lost my love. Film 33 is over. I lost my power. And I lost, like bargaining chips. I have nothing now. Perfect for me to enter my villain arc. Next arc is going to be like revenge. Next 6 months, pure vengeance. Pure fucking vengeance. Cold-blooded vengeance. It's amazing. And I'm in the front lines. And I'll be back in CMD. I'm going to be one of the frontliners because Liam's going to, I don't know, LMU or CSUN, right? But he's interested. I told Liam that, I'm going back to CMD, and now I'm in contact with both Betsy and Ariel. They haven't met, and they're already rivals, and I have direct contact with both of them. Direct. And then I'm taking Film 5, and that's every Thursday. And when I told Liam that, Liam's like, oh. So I told him, like, hey, I'm already planting my seeds. I'm going full throttle. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm dedicating even more time and effort destroying that Mexican guy. So Liam's like, oh man, keep me updated. Like, we gotta cook something up. And I'm like, yeah, even though I don't think Liam will be able to cook anything up. But if he does, great. Jonathan's probably not interested in fighting back. Red may want to, but Red's also going to be in UCLA studying English. Tova can't because she's going to UC Santa Cruz. I'm the only one. I'm the lone warrior. I'm the lone soldier now in my war against Cuchillo. Not now, but like next semester. Which is going to be a little lonely, but again, that means I literally can't lose anyone. I even don't have the scriptwriting club vice president title anymore. I literally cannot lose anything. I'll probably hopefully get a job, but that's like out of like not even CMD. That's more like main campus. Right? At CMD, I'm a fucking wild card. And I want Betsy to know that. I want Betsy to use me. I will use Betsy and I won't let Betsy use me. We'll use each other. And we'll attack Cuchillo on both sides. Fucking pincer strategy. And yeah, Betsy's egotistical and she's manipulative in her own ways. And Michelle wants to see Betsy fail. I also low-key want to see Betsy, stumble a little bit. But nonetheless, both of our objectives align. We want to hurt Cuchillo. So let's fucking do it, baby. Let's do it. First time in the history of my college, but gotta do it. Alright, time now is 11:18 a.m. in the morning on June 29th. Yes. So I slept from 4:30 to 10:30. I went back to sleep a little bit. Woke up at 11. Yeah, I really need to sleep earlier. God damn it. I didn't watch any anime episodes last night. I spent like a whole hour trying to upload the trailers onto Instagram to my short film. Because it's always like Instagram crashes or it's uploading the video to Reels, which I really don't want. I want it to be a post, and then I wanted to post it on the stories, and then I thought, oh, maybe I should upload the non-copyrighted ones, the copyrighted ones onto my stories, and then post the non-copyrighted ones. Yeah, it's a whole process. But yeah, a lot of people liked the post. That's really fucking great. Except for Leslie, of course. I was really hoping that she would like it, but I guess she doesn't like it. I guess she hates it. Okay, doesn't matter. Who cares? Um, but yeah, and I'll be seeing her tomorrow. Fuck. Low key, don't want to see her. Want to see her, but also don't want to see her. You know what I mean. But I have to see her tomorrow. It's ritualistic, you know. It has to happen. It's destiny. But yeah, today's gonna be an exciting day because we're interviewing Eric. Me and Tova, we are interviewing Eric. At the Bundy campus, and I've never really been to the Bundy campus, so this is going to be very interesting. But yeah, we're going to the Bundy campus to interview Eric, interview number 2. Yeah, it's amazing that we're actually doing interviews, and it's going to be a regular thing from now on. Tova told me that her trip to Montana got pushed back to August, so we can schedule more interviews next week, which is great, but also I'm gonna work on my Neither Donkey Nor Horse short film, so maybe not great, because I wouldn't have a lot of time, but we'll see. But yeah, 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 I tried to come up with questions that for Eric, but honestly, Eric's not the greatest of interviewees because he probably doesn't have that much to say, but it's still great to have him on. And again, Jonathan saying yes is such a huge win, such a huge W. Having Jonathan read on the interview list is just like amazing. Like, if we only have like people like Leia and Eric, just like 2 of them in the doc, then if Crucio knows about this, Crucio would be like, well, they just got all the unimportant people. But if we do manage to get like 20 people from the class to do it, including me and Tova ourselves, including Jonathan and Red, and if we do score Skylar and Carly, I think that's like fucking huge. Like, it shows that the students are not to be fucked with. So that's great. Also, my entire phone storage space is running out like a bitch. Don't really know why. Maybe it's all the downloading that I did to my short films. But yeah. I'm still thinking of Leslie. I don't know. I just hope I move on from her real quick, 1 sec, and just find a more interesting girl as soon as possible. A more interesting, a more beautiful, a nicer girl than her, because she fucking sucks. And yeah, I guess I have a few reviews to film after this, but that's that. I also desperately need to go to Nijio Market to buy more food. Don't really know when to do that. Maybe tomorrow morning, because I don't think John L's asking for my help. I mean, John L did ask for my help to do ADR stuff tomorrow, but I don't really know if that's actually happening. So, in any case, maybe I'll go to Nijio Market tomorrow. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I wish Leslie would at least watch my short film, you know. Fuck. Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
I think he read my message, but he forgot to respond.
He could be thinking about it, that's fine.
No, but he said he's totally down. The exact words. Oh my god. It's like a hospital. Here. Yeah, it's like a nursing place. Interesting.
All the lighting equipment, all the camera equipment, it's not something I'm unfamiliar.
They were up there originally. Do you want to go up and check? Okay, Drew and Leslie are gone. They're definitely gone. Alright, time now is 10:22 p.m. 22:22. I just finished dinner, which is rice, pork chop, yellow bell pepper, and steamed egg. Not bad. I would rate it a 6, honestly. I was really hungry today because, like, for breakfast I ate nothing. It was just a toast with cream cheese and honey, and that was like 200 and something calories. And then for lunch it was just shrimp noodles, 4 meatballs, and some bok choy. And actually that's like 320 calories. So I've been eating air today. So yikes, you know. So I'm gonna have to like eat a little more dessert later. But that is essentially today. And let's talk about today a little bit. Today's quite interesting actually, because I saw Leslie again for the first time in a week. And my heart didn't sink. I just froze. I was like... And she didn't fucking see me, of course, because I'm a ninja. So, I and Tova planned to meet at around 2 to 3 p.m. at CMD, and then she's going to drive me to the Bundy campus, where we will interview Eric. And again, it's still crazy. It's still difficult to believe that we're actually doing this, that we're actually making this documentary and interviewing people. And this is interview number 2 out of, I don't know how many interviews we'll be doing, but holy crap, it's actually happening. There's that. So I arrived at CMD at around 3 p.m. actually. 3:05, I dare say. And turns out Tova's going to be late. Tova's going to be a little late, and I said, oh, it's fine. I will film some insert shots, because for the documentary, I will need a bunch of insert shots from CMD, you know, all moody and atmospheric. And so I whipped out my camera and I started filming. And holy fuck, my experience today, I spent about 1.5 hours at CMD today. And it was nerve-wracking, especially when I'm alone. Like, if I was with Tova, it would have been way more comedic. But because I was alone, I felt like I'm just trying to survive in a battlefield, except you can't see the enemies, and the bullets and the bombs and the tanks are all invisible ghosts. And it's extremely nerve-wracking. So I went into the main area, the the soundstage side of the building. I went into the building, and literally Leslie is the first thing I see. She walks out of I don't know, the elevator area, carrying a gigantic box. She was in a black t-shirt. And her hair is purple now. I thought it's red. I guess she dyed it again. I don't know. It's purple now, and her back was against me the whole time. So she didn't see me, and I didn't dare make a footstep. I just thought to myself, I could just make some noise, say hi, and spook her a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe that's a bad idea. I'm just thinking, like, what would happen if I say hi at this very inconvenient moment? So I just ended up not saying hi. and it's easy for me to not say hi because I'm really good at hiding and being stealthy. So I just stood there, I froze, and prayed to God that she wouldn't turn around, and she did not because she's fucking stupid. So, so there she went, and I'm like, fuck. So I took the elevator, went upstairs, and I filmed a bunch of insert shots there. And then at some point I walked by the editing bay, and I took a peek. You know, ooh, what if Cliff is here or Benny's here, editing the ends and means. Ooh, you know. And then I walked past an editing bay, and I could have sworn it's the fucking scene where it's the father, the priest character, talking to the main character. The scene we filmed, the last scene we filmed, the scene we filmed at CMD. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. And then I looked at who's editing it, and it's just silhouette because it's a very dark room, but I couldn't tell who it is because that person wore a jacket, and it appears that he had a hoodie over, or it was just a mess, but I just couldn't see anyone, so I thought, okay, maybe it's just some random outsider. I don't know, and I'm not sure if it's really the scene. It seems like Damian's acting real. It doesn't seem like a real, like, I'm not sure. So I walked away, and I was just walking around filming more insert shots, and then I walked back to the editing bay, and as I was walking back, I saw fucking Benny walk out of the editing bay, and I immediately ran. And the fucking stupid thing is that the editing bay, once you exit the door there, you can immediately see through the entire hallway. So I had to run down the entire hallway and make a left turn to hide. And luckily I did that fast enough. Or I don't have to do that. I can just hide right beside the interaction design classroom, but it's still a very tricky spot. You need to immediately run because it's one straight line. And then so I walked around, and I don't know where to go. Another objective is I wanted to film some insert shots at the main area, where you could see all the posters of the previous shorts from the college. And that's also like a hot spot, like a hot zone, because Drew and Leslie are there. So I went back down, and I just saw Drew in a blue shirt making a phone call. And he stood there for like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even 20, I don't know. But it was really weird. I took a peek, and then I ran back up again. I think I ran up and down like at least a few times. And some passerby saw me and thought I was a junkie or something. I'm just scared of the professors and the students. Not scared, but like I don't want them to see me and ask questions. I'm supposed to be sneaky about this. So I went back to the editing bay, and I thought, ooh, okay, maybe Benny's in the editing bay right now. Maybe I can sneak over. Or yeah, I saw Benny walk out, and I saw Benny like opening the door of the editing bay and using a door stopper so that the door wouldn't close. So I thought maybe Benny's like out. Maybe he's outside getting lunch, or maybe he's taking a vape break or smoke break or some stupid shit like that. Who knows? So maybe the editing bay is completely open and unguarded, and I can just stroll in and steal all the data. So I started walking towards the editing bay, and I heard Carly's voice, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like maybe the computer is playing videos of like the footage, and you can hear Carly's voice because she's the director, and maybe she's speaking during the take. And then I walk closer. Holy fuck, it's a woman! It's Carly, her and her blue dyed hair, and Benny's in there. And so I freaked out and immediately ran. And then another moment, I tried to sneak back up and see, ooh, what if I like go to 70mm to my lens and like sneak attack and just like film a little bit. And then the moment I walked up, before I could even press record, Carly fucking walks out of the room and literally sees me. The good thing is I had a haircut, and she hadn't seen me after the haircut, so she probably didn't recognize me. I immediately ran down the fucking hallway. So there's that. So I got really worried. I didn't know what to do. I went downstairs and saw the little sitting area, the table where I I confessed to Leslie. And feelings are hitting me. I put my arm over the glass wall, and I almost cried. It was such a nice spot such a nice, beautiful hidden spot. And Leslie chose that spot herself. I didn't even fucking choose the spot. She chose it herself. I cried, and it was like, almost cried, but it was like, I got emotional. And it was like rage. Like, I have every fucking reason to gut Cuchillo in the stomach. I hate him so much. So I just walked out. I just can't deal with this. And Tova kept updating me saying that, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. And Tova's not picking me up until like 4:40-ish. So I had like half an hour to kill. So I just put on my earbuds to listen to music and started like leaving the campus because it's too dangerous here. It's too fucking dangerous. It's like, it's full of landmines. It's going to give me a heart attack. So I just walked out. I left the campus and I walked around and I walked to the sacred tree. And then I walked back and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'll find a spot. I'll find a nice, comfortable spot in CMD where I could hide and just not move. So I thought about maybe going to the hidden couches on the ground floor, like near Cuchillo's office. But it is situated in a way where there's no way Cuchillo would go to this hidden spot. If Cuchillo wants to go anywhere else, up the stairs, to the elevator, go outside, like, Cuchillo would not pass through this hidden spot. So as I was going to that spot, suddenly Cuchillo's door fucking opens and Cuchillo steps out of the door and sees me. Holy asshole. Whoa, fucking hell. Again, like, Cuchillo has not seen me with the haircut. But I swear to God, he locked eyes with me for like half a second. But I immediately left and he walked away and I just didn't know what to do. I panicked a little bit. But anyways, I continued to listen to music for about 10 more minutes on that couch. And I was really, really, really hoping that Tova would show up and save me and rescue me. Just drive me, just pick me up, just let me get out of here. Yeah. And then again, I had to wait until the main area is cleared so that I could sneak in. At some point, I saw Benny and Carly downstairs by the cafe, and then I saw them walk back up. I actually secretly filmed them, and I have every right to. I know I'm a stalker, blah, 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 but, I mean, dude, I'm the fucking resistance. And then I went to the main area, and I filmed some stuff. And I really low-key wish that Leslie would just walk out of there and see me, but whatever, who cares? But then also, I don't want that to happen. Anyways, at the end, Tova found me. I was on the couch, and Tova just showed up right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So that was 4:40. Tova wanted to take the elevator up to find me, but I was already there. So we immediately went to the car park, and she drove to the Bundy campus. I've never been to the Bundy campus. It's my first time, and it looks like a hospital, but it's really quiet. There's like 3 people in there, literally in the entire freaking building. They saw me, so we saw Eric. Eric chilled at the airport park for like 20 something minutes waiting for me and Tova, but we finally arrived and Eric's chill about it. I'm chill about Tova being late. I myself am late all the time. So me, Tova, Eric, we walked up and we're trying to find a good spot where there's where sonically it sounds nice. And we walked past these 3 black folks who are like, hey, do you have classes here? And Tova immediately responded, oh, no, we're just doing our side project for a class. And they just walked away. I'm like, whoa, okay. So, no biggie. We can always lie. Small stuff. This Bundy campus has no business with CMD at all. So, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, we went downstairs and went to a courtyard where it's not echoey. And it's important that it's not echoey. Sure, you get the bird sounds, you get the fucking cars, but it's a nice spot. So I set up my camera. I didn't have a tripod, so I used Tova's camera bag as a tripod itself. And then we filmed the interview. It went on for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I dominated the interview because Tova's plan is that I could ask my questions first, and then I'll give Tova some time to ask her questions. And I have a lot of questions. I have like 20 questions to ask. But this time the interview didn't go... I think it went really well, but it was a totally different vibe with Leia. With Leia, it's just a rant. and it's Tova and Leia and me constantly talking about trash. But with Eric, it feels so much more uptight. I think mainly because Eric takes a way more neutral perspective. But also, Eric, Zara's texting me. But also, Eric just, and Tova aren't really that close, I guess. So at first it was just question and answer, but at some point I really got Eric to start spilling the tea, just the shit. I talked about, the transportation system, the transportation incident where we were dumped outside of a subway. That Eric had a lot to talk about. The whole Sid Lally versus Trinity Gang thing, Eric tried to avoid talking about, or at least touching on it, but in a very vague way. But Tova asked more questions and he elaborated more in a very fantastic way. And then we also touched on day one and his reaction to us being able to go to Encino, which is fucking crazy. And at the end, we got some really good footage. So the interview ended at around 6:30, and we were all pretty hungry. Tova's like, let's get some food. Let's go makan. And Eric's like, sure. I'm gonna follow you because Eric lives near LAX and there's traffic. 405, fucking best freeway ever. Tova decides to go to Maracay. And turns out it's the exact same Maracay that's near CMD. Turns out we're actually very near CMD the whole time. So we went there, and it turns out to be like a bit of a tradition because last time with Leia's interview, we had pizza. But this time, it's just Tova getting a small box of sushi. I never didn't buy anything because I want to save money. Same for him. Tova ate sushi on top of her own car, like trunk. And it was like a mess, like bits of rice fell out and her chopsticks fell on the ground. Not the chopstick itself, but the package. It was that, and it's so funny how like even after the interview was over, we still keep talking about Film 33, and it still goes on, and that just shows how much we're actually true to ourselves, even in the interviews. But yeah, Eric doesn't have a lot to add. I didn't realize this, but apparently this is the first time I've seen Eric since the shoot was over. I don't know why, but I feel like maybe it's because time has been passing so fast. I thought it wasn't that long. Because when Eric saw me, Eric's like, oh, you had a haircut. And I'm like, why are you surprised? Oh yeah, you haven't seen me. But anyways, because we're so near CMD, Tova decided to drive us back to CMD. And it's like a bit of an adventure. And Eric's joining too, because Eric has nothing better to do. We went back to CMD and there's literally no one. We're not sure if Kushio's there or not, but Benny and Carly, gone. Drew and Leslie, definitely gone. They're gone after 5. Yeah, it's just completely empty. And like Eric has suggested, or has said, CMD is now a tainted place. It's a tainted campus. It's the first time Eric has gone back and he already feels the stress. So yeah, it's very fucking scary. I have been back to CMD like 3 times, every time with Tova. But yeah, holy shit, this campus is fucking scary. And then I texted Dominic over Discord about the interviews, and I worded things very carefully because Dominic, we're not 100% sure if he will say yes to the interviews. Tova herself was very pessimistic about Dominic saying yes. And Dominic said yes! Holy shit! I rejoiced. Tova jumped out of the air. We high-fived, even after the messy sushi and the garbage bin mess, but hell fucking yeah. Finally, I guess a big piece of info is that I texted Leslie. Fuck. So I had to text her. I had to ask her if she's actually going to the 2001 screening tomorrow. If it's a no, I would be disappointed because tomorrow should be the rightful ending to our story. So on the car, after we went to Maracay, I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll text Leslie. So I texted, hey, so are you still going to the 2001 screening tomorrow? And I saw that her last online is June 20th. It's been 9 whole days since she's opened WhatsApp. And literally the last time she opened WhatsApp, it's right after my phone call. Holy shit. I mean, to be fair, she doesn't use WhatsApp for literally anyone else. But in 3 minutes, she responded saying positive. So I'm like, okay, good. See you then. That's it. Simple as that. No need to complicate things with melodrama. No need for that. Yeah, I just I don't know. Again, like every time I see Leslie in person or speak to her, it's not that heartbreaking. It's the thought of her and the thought that we could be together that's really heartbreaking. But hey, it's great that tomorrow's still happening. So you know, I could truly say goodbye to her. Not truly, because I'll be seeing her again, but goodbye for a while, you know. And yeah. I'm gonna tell her tomorrow that I actually saw her today. Just freak her out a little bit. I don't know. I don't fucking care either. I can say whatever I want.